Yo, how's it going, everyone? This is Mitchell Mander here, and it's been a while since I've covered the Boruto anime on the channel. I haven't really touched it since the end of the manga canon stuff back in October of 2021, and it's not that everything has been bad since then, it hasn't really been worth covering. There was a Labyrinth arc towards the end of 2022 that I could have probably covered if I knew that there was going to be an inner member of Kara showing up within that arc, but yeah, that's in the past now. But anyways, this arc, or this anime adapted manga arc, is not from the Boruto manga, it's from Sasuke Retsuden. And Sasuke Retsuden is part 2 in a 3-part novel series, starting with Kakashi Retsuden, then Sasuke Retsuden, and Naruto Retsuden. But we do have a manga adaptation for Sasuke Retsuden that's actually ongoing right now. I think there's only a couple more chapters of it, but if you haven't checked that out, you should definitely check it out. It's actually a pretty interesting read. But it's kind of condensing things down to that part of the Retsuden storyline. And there's probably going to be some changes within both the anime and manga. And we're already kind of seeing some differences between the anime and manga. And that's kind of what I want to focus on when it comes to this episode review. Some of the differences we have between anime and manga here. So let's talk about it. Now, really quickly, I want to talk about the opening and ending. The opening song is okay. The visuals were pretty nice. It's kind of interesting to see frickin' Ada and Damon in the anime. It's actually kind of unbelievable what they've been around for almost 2 years now. And now we're finally getting them in the anime. So, yeah, I guess we'll look forward to the Code arc in February and see how that's handled. Because Sasuke Retsuden is only going to be 5 episodes long. So that's pretty much lasting the entirety of this month and in the beginning of February. In my opinion, the ending song was better than the opening song. The visuals were actually really nice in the ending song. So, yeah, so both were not bad. It's just I prefer the ending to the opening here. Now, the one thing I thought was interesting about this episode was they cut out pretty much the entirety of the first chapter of the Sasuke Retsuden novel. Not all of it, but like a lot of it got chopped out. There was like an original part that kind of led into Sasuke going to prison in the manga. And here, just kind of like with the novel, Sasuke basically just goes right to prison. But the one thing I thought was pretty interesting is that the anime actually added a little bit of Kakashi Retsuden in here. Obviously, it's very much abridged. And I was hoping we would get like a full-on adaptation of that. But I do find it interesting that the anime showed this off because the Sasuke Retsuden manga did not show off Kakashi and what he was doing behind the scenes. He eventually finds a book which he's going to relay this information over to Sasuke and Sakura in the upcoming episodes. So it's very abridged, and unfortunately it could have used a little bit more time, and especially since the Boruto anime is adapting a manga that is monthly. You'd think that they'd actually spend some time and actually flesh out this entire story, but, you know, whatever. At least the anime went ahead and gave us this, I guess. Now, I will say that Sasuke going to prison, a lot of it is pretty similar to what happened in the manga, especially the beginning parts of the Sasuke Retsuden manga with Sasuke going to prison, and he meets his cellmates, he's not talking to anybody, and he ends up getting into a little scuffle here. And he ends up getting excused by the warden. And more on this guy in a little bit. But at some point during the episode, Sasuke is able to get out of the cell, and obviously there's a summon that, well, at least Sasuke thinks it's a summon that's going around and patrolling and basically kills and eats anybody that tries to escape, and it's Menos. It's this little dinosaur dude, which I know some people are going to be, you know, a little off-put by this and be like, why do we have dinosaurs in the Naruto series? Well, they have existed in Naruto. There's been dinosaur bones in the manga, so yeah, don't complain about that. It's pretty minor to complain about a dinosaur being in Naruto or the Naruto series as a whole. But anyways, Menos basically is this dinosaur that basically guards the prison, and anyone that tries to escape or leave their cells, they basically get attacked and eaten. And there's one person that tries to escape when Sasuke is basically fighting all those guys. And he tries to use this to his advantage so he can escape from prison, but he ends up getting caught and he's eaten by Menos, which This is censored in the anime versus the manga, I will say that. They completely darken it out. Whereas in the manga, they don't full on show it, but the dude's literally got his rib cage open and Menos is just basically digging into him in the manga. So, yeah, and that's the anime for you. But we have that established. But anyways, at one point in the episode, Sasuke wins a little game there. Obviously, being Sasuke, he's got the ability to actually win this and get like a perfect game when he throws the dice into the bowl and gets all ones. And he ends up actually walking out of his cell. I like how they're just able to just pass out. And luckily no patrol guards came by and stopped him. But anyway, Sasuke fights Menos, and it's very similar to how it went in the manga. There is a part where apparently, if I remember correctly, Sasuke uses Ice Style to fight off against Menos, and I believe that was omitted here. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember if that was done in a different battle or if it was done here, but in the manga, Sasuke actually uses Ice Style against Menos. But if so, it probably got cut here, and that's kind of unfortunate. But Sasuke ends up going a little bit too far and seriously injures Menos, and it goes off wounded. But the very next day, it's actually completely fine. He looks out, and it's guarding the prison, and it's basically got no wounds on it. It's basically all healed up, and all the damage Sasuke did to it is literally gone. Now, this next scene I want to say is pretty much spot on from the manga, where Sasuke tries to use his Sharingan to put Zansol, the director of the prison, or the Astronomy Research Institute, whatever you want to call it, under Genjutsu and ask him some questions. It turns out that the director here has some glass eyes, so he can't be placed under Genjutsu. It's pretty much spot on from the manga. But yeah, he basically warns him not to mess around here, or else Sasuke's pretty much going to be Menos food. Although Sasuke's stronger than that. But yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, that's pretty much the episode. It ends off with Kakashi finding that book, which he's going to relay that information to Sasuke and Sakura, as I mentioned earlier. Now, overall, I thought this was a pretty decent start to the Sasuke Retsuden anime adaptation. I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of the cut material. I really think that we should have told the entire story. I really think that the anime should have done this and just told the whole thing. Instead, we're getting 5 episodes, and the manga is still ongoing. So I'm very worried that things aren't going to line up or be as satisfying as I was hoping it would be. I was actually kind of hoping this would go on until maybe March or even April, if they would extend it and give us some more sections for Kakashi Retsuden and Naruto Retsuden. But what are we going to do? That's, Perot. It's not the first time they've kind of botched a novel adaptation, or light novel adaptation. But yeah. I do think that it's decent so far. I'm interested to see how the remaining 4 episodes are going to go. I hope it doesn't diverge too much from the manga. We got maybe a couple chapters left, so we'll see how things go. But one thing I will say that I am happy about is that this is a flashback arc. I was afraid that they were going to weave this into the current story where Naruto doesn't have Kurama anymore, and he was just going to be randomly sick, and it was going to be completely unrelated. So I like that this is a flashback, and it's interesting at the beginning of the episode where Sasuke is near the land of Radaku. He's trying to find information on Kara, and he overhears some women talking about one of the women getting married, or they get an engagement ring, and that was kind of something that's common in Radaku. Like, married couples exchange rings. So I thought that was pretty nice. It was a nice way to segue into this. I was just hoping that maybe we'd get a longer story. One thing I will say that I find that's pretty interesting is that this takes place a couple years earlier, and it is before Kara or anything related to that. But I like how Sasuke mentioned it's been a couple years since this took place. So is this before the events of Boruto, the anime, or was it taking place during certain parts in the anime continuity? I want to say this takes place during some of the events going on within Boruto. So who knows where the anime is putting this in the timeline, but yeah. I will just say that I do appreciate that this is a flashback arc rather than just implementing it into the current story. Just saying, oh, Naruto just got randomly ill because of losing Kurama or something like that. Alrighty guys, that's all I got for this video. So, I'd probably give this episode like a solid 7 out of 10. It's a decent start to this arc. I'm just a little disappointed that we are basically rushing through the rest of the novels and just giving us like an abridged story. I was hoping for a little bit more. I will say that at least the anime gave us some stuff from Kakashi Retsuden here, whereas the manga we didn't get that. So I will give the anime some kudos there. I'm just afraid that things aren't going to be going smoothly from here since we only have 4 more episodes. The manga is still ongoing. And yeah, I get that this is mainly a promotion for the manga, but I was hoping for some more. That's just me though. But 7 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think of this episode in the comment section down below. What would you guys rate this episode out of 10? And yeah, I guess we'll be covering Sasuke Retsuden, at least for the next 4 episodes, or at least the Sasuke Retsuden portion of the Boruto manga for the next 4 episodes, and then we'll go from there. So, yep. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for this video, so leave those comments in the comment section down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and have a good day or night wherever you're at, and I will see you all later. Bye.